What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be previewing round 4. It's gather round at the Adelaide Oval. It's Port Adelaide versus Essendon. It's going to be a fiery clash in what looks set to be an 8th v 9th. It's something that very much looking forward to. Friday night football at the Adelaide Oval. It's going to be a big crowd, big atmosphere, and it's gather round, which means everyone from all over the country will be here to watch this game. It's the feature clash of Friday night footy. With obviously a game in the day and a Thursday night footy with Adelaide versus Melbourne. So I'm very much looking forward to this one. Gather round is always a pretty special time of the year, and I'm very much keen to kick into it. So we may get into it, you reckon? Should we? Yeah, let's do it. Gather round, Port Adelaide versus Essendon. Let's preview. Now I know what you're thinking. First off, Anthony, what's going on here? Bit of a shave. Don't worry about it. We're all good. Something a bit different. But something that needs to be different this week is Port Adelaide winning and not losing like last week. It's a big game against Essendon, who are coming off a great win against St Kilda in a game of football that was pretty much played in two halves, and Essendon with a great comeback. And they've got a lot of talent on their list that definitely could break Port Adelaide's mould again. We saw last year's clash at the MCG, which was very much one for the ages for Port Adelaide fans, with a win after the siren thanks to Dan Houston, who funnily enough plays game at 150 this week on Friday night. It's a hell of a game. We're 1-1 for milestones, lost the Todd Marshall 100th, won the 350th, so to win for Dan Houston would be a massive achievement. And I do want to just touch on Dan Houston because he's come out of nowhere, worn the number 43 for a long time. He was a late pick. He was something that we didn't expect a lot to come of. And he's just developed very nicely into a silky smooth defender who could play in the midfield. He's a leader of the club and just one of those players that you just always enjoy watching. And he's definitely one of my personal faves as well. So go well this week, Dan Houston, for game 150. And as I mentioned, it's gather round, so a lot of people will be watching this one. You don't want to lose your home game in gather round. And Essendon did the unthinkable last year at Melbourne at a time where you wouldn't expect them to, and they did. They did a very nice job. They like coming to Adelaide as well. So I'm definitely not underrating the Essendon Football Club, their Essendon edge, as they have. They have picked up a couple of nice recruits. It's obviously an interesting one. Xavier Dersma returns to Adelaide, and Brendan Zerk-Thatcher plays his old side. So it's got a lot of feel to this one, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's a game that I highlighted at the start of the year that I thought that would be bringing a lot of, passion, a lot of meaning to this one, and especially that it's gather round. It'll have a lot of purpose, this one, and there's a lot of fire in the belly. And I think Port Adelaide, whilst they didn't win against the D's last week, do have a lot of cards that they're hiding at the moment, and I hope it is the case, because I don't want to be the team that, as I said last week in the review, the team that's already written off or people don't really rate. And I think making a statement and gather round is crucial. I'm not expecting a thrashing. I'm not expecting anything like that. I'm expecting a game of footy where Essendon bring their best, and they've got the leadership of Zach Merritt, the craftiness of Jake Stringer. As I mentioned, they've got a young brigade that are just absolutely shining at the moment. Perkins, Martin. And as I mentioned, the recruits of Dersma. Ben Mackay has been amazing as well. So, yeah, it's a lot to look forward to. I'll definitely be there. It's going to be a nice clash, and I'm very much excited for the game. So, a lot to look forward to for this week. And, yeah, I think Essendon are ones to watch. So, I'm very much a little bit nervy. But Friday night footy is going to be exciting. Perfect conditions as well, 24 degrees. So, it's going to be a perfect night for footy, perfect conditions. And a perfect game to play a high-scoring affair. What Port Adelaide need to do to win this week? Well, stating the obvious, kick straight. Defend probably a little bit better is one thing I would mention. Getting the basics right of timing, of going up into the contest, calling and voice is another one that we need to work out. I think our chemistry down back is still being figured out. One person I still want to mention is Brendan Zerk-Thatcher. He's a key element of this week's game. And if Essendon come in with, I think it's Harry Jones, and they don't have Peter Wright, but they'll have Jake Stringer and the smaller forwards that make them a little bit more unpredictable. So definitely will be keeping an eye on how we work our defensive unit. Midfield battle, will match up quite nicely. I do think Rosie and Butters, it's been highlighted, and I definitely didn't see it until later on this week, because they need to defend a little bit more. So I think having that captain's performance from Rosie and Butters will need to be justified this week. I think you don't want to lose gather round, as I've mentioned. Our forward line is working okay. We just need to kick straight. I think our smalls work quite nicely, and Dixon and Todd Marshall can work over their defensive unit. And I think, do we look at dropping Finlayson for Georgiadis? It's yet to be seen. I'm not exactly sure how we'd work it. Do we go 2 rucks against a Draper and Goldstein? That could be definitely something to think about for selection. And I personally would go that way. I really like the way Jordan Sweet played on the weekend in the reserves and for the Maggies. And I think, I don't see them dropping Finlayson, but I think against Goldstein and Draper, it worked well at stages. We don't have ruck really last year against them. We had Dante Vicentini play for a half, and that was it, and that was in the wet. So I would like the opportunity to have Sweet play this week. I think that definitely would be a good shout there, and Soldo's proven he can play up forward, and dropping Finlayson for Sweet would be good. And I think Burgoyne comes out. I don't think he had a major impact. I think Jason Horne-Francis gets up, which will be good. So he'll come into the side, and I think you have a Francis Evans or even a Lockie Jones as a sub. Lockie Jones definitely doesn't warrant a spot this week, if I'm honest. Dropping 8 marks in total or something like that last week was definitely not not feasible for him and his performances, and he definitely doesn't have confidence at the moment, but his contested work's still good. I think his one-on-one work's still pretty good. So I think at the bare minimum, he goes to sub. Burgoyne comes out for mine, and Jordan Sweet plays, and Finlayson comes out. Maybe Finlayson as sub, and look, I think Finlayson kicking a couple of goals might help his cause. So I don't know how we work it there, but I think Horne-Francis definitely has to come back in the side. We need that grunt. We need that that little bit of extra around the contest, I think, and that silkiness going inside 50 a bit more. So that would be my selection this week, and pretty much I don't see much else. We don't need to prove much. No, we do need to prove a lot. So we don't need to change much. I think we in a sense are in a good position. We just need to execute these situations and our mistakes and our flaws. And if we do that, if we change those, I think we're going to have a good game on Friday night. My tip is Port Adelaide by 11 points. It's going to be a close game, nail biter once again. And hopefully we just get the job done in front of our crowd in gather round, because that's what we deserve, and that's what the Port Adelaide people deserve. And we just shouldn't lose at home. That's my one key point, is if we're going to be a top side, you look at Brisbane and stuff like that last year, they came from not losing at the Gabba. They made a grand final for that reason. We need to not lose at home, and especially in games like this, we shouldn't lose at home. So definitely a game I'm putting in the book. I think we should win, and if we don't, then a lot of questions has to be asked once again. We don't want to be 2-2, same position as last year. We want to have a bit more confidence going into the second part before we get into the bigger games and the bigger stages, because a lot of big games coming up, so you want to bank wins early just to get that confidence going, and Port Adelaide are a confident side. Well, Port fans, let me know your comments below and your thoughts about the game coming up and gather round. Obviously, we're all going to be there, so hopefully to see you there as well. I'll definitely be around the place, so definitely come say hello and get as many people involved. We'll do a massive vlog as well, so come and join us and again get involved, and I look forward to seeing you all at Gather Round. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way. My name's Anthony, and as always, come ThePear.